What's up, good people? As you can see, I'm looking to my right. I'm looking at the computer to make sure you guys are able to see us. So bear with me, man. I see we have a couple comments in the chat, but I believe these are guys who commented before the show started. So give me 2 seconds, man. I know you guys get tired of us doing this live, but give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to check, make sure we're streaming before we continue talking. There we are. I can hear myself talking there on Smitty's background.
Yeah.
So I guess we are live. So what's up, everybody? One last thing. I should have did this before we started. Let me turn my mic down a little bit. Oh, no, we good. The gain is where I want it. What's up? How's everybody doing, man? Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with myself and Smitty. And got a new presentation for you guys tonight. For you guys to see tonight, as you guys probably can already see. We're using StreamYard, giving it a try. Shout outs to First and Frame Rates. You know, Smitty had mentioned to me that they use this format. And I was always wondering, you know, what they were doing when I kind of peeked in on their show. I think we might start doing this. We might try another one as well. Smitty was just telling me about OBS not OBS. Elgato is partnering with someone. So we'll see. I'm just trying to get a better look and format because I'm sick and tired of us doing the old-fashioned OBS, window capture, Smitty and I, and Zoom. And, you know, this is a much cleaner look. So hopefully you guys can let us know how it came through. And, you know, if you guys like it, maybe I will upgrade to the paid version and we'll get it cracking. But other than that, how's everyone doing? What we will be talking about tonight, let me get to my notes because my memory is bad when I just did it 2 seconds ago. First and foremost, we will be talking about Esports Boxing Club. You see it there in the title. I literally said Esports Boxing Club game could be the best boxing game ever made. And I'm standing by that right now. I'm already saying that. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk a little bit about Carson Wentz, man, and the trade to the Colts, what the Colts will be getting, what the Eagles will be getting back. And then we'll talk a little bit about, man, EA officially purchasing Codemasters for $1.2 billion. I'll run off a little bit, you know, a few of the names of, you know, the companies or the games, rather, that will come with that. And, you know, me and Smitty are going to attack it from a business standpoint. What does that mean, seeing EA out there, again, acquiring companies and actually outbidding, you guessed it, Take-Two Interactive? Interesting, right? They still going at it. But we'll get into all of that in just a moment. Y'all know what we do first and foremost. We tell you guys about our week and any extracurricular things we want to talk about that's outside of the topics. So I'm going to throw it to the good brother Smitty. How was your week, man? And anything you want to address outside of the topics before we get going?
Man, I really don't have anything significant really to get into. Let me adjust the mic here a little bit. But I really don't. I mean, one thing, well, we signed, what's my man's name? Wide receiver coach from the Buccaneers, Randall L. I can't think of his first name for whatever reason right now.
Antoine?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh, I know Antoine Randall.
Yeah, I know, right. He's an alum. 40? He's an alum, right?
Okay, Antoine. I didn't know that.
He was with the Buccaneers, so it's like you come fresh off the Super Bowl.
He sure was. Yep.
So, and then he comes to Detroit. So that's once again, like we talked about, I think the other week or the week before last, the significance of these guys coming in. You know what I mean? And it's like we got these different, these different guys that could go to much better situations, better teams with, you know, things in a better place position wise, and then they're coming here instead. So I'm like, hey, you know, potentially the rich get richer in that regard. Like, you know, all these people, and the funny and the coolest part I should say about all of it is everybody is coming from a winning situation. They're coming from winning organizations, and then they're bringing that, you know, everything they learned from those cultures into this, into the fold here in Detroit, which is much needed. So I love that. Outside of that, though, man, I don't know if any of you guys already saw it or not, but yo, that Mortal Kombat trailer is official. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Like, seriously, that movie is going to be official. So it's looking. I mean, it looks good. Like I'm bought in based off the trailer. I'm with it. And yeah, man, like other than that, man, that's really all I got, man. Oh, well, one thing I will say about the Detroit Pistons, they're starting to gel a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is one thing that I've said, I said this about the Pistons long ago. Like originally I spoke differently about the 04 Pistons. Now, I mean, I know this is back then, but when the Pistons won it in 04, I wanted our team to actually play our bench, a whole lot more and get young guys acclimated to the system. And then come into the playoffs as like between 4 and 6 seed. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds crazy, but at the same time, think about it. When you put your younger guys or not as experienced or seasoned guys in all those different kind of situations when the game matters, then when it comes to the playoffs, you could go full depth with your bench in terms of rotation because everybody is comfortable. It's not like, oh, well, we got to play the starting five because nobody else really knows what to do, or I don't think they'll be ready for it. And it's like, no, you've been playing these dudes all along. So while in the media perception, they'll be like, oh, this team is upsetting all these, how the Pistons upsetting all these guys. It's like, it's not an upset. They already know they're a 50-win team. But you spent the time on purpose. You took the L's to make your team as a whole better, to mix it. Hey, man, it's the fourth quarter, and we need to get this key stop. Hey, man, we could go ahead and call on Big Ben. No, we're going to take out Ben, and we're going to put Darko in there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying at the time, but you know what I'm saying. Put the younger guys in there and let them work. That's what at the beginning of the season, or even I would say the first few weeks into the season, nobody was talking about Sadiq Bey. Nobody was talking about Isaac Stewart. No one was talking about those guys. Even Jeremy Grant, he wasn't playing the way he's playing now, even though we knew about Jeremy Grant. But you didn't really see him come up. And it's like now you're starting to see these guys come up. And it really sucks because I would love to see Killian Hayes play, but unfortunately he's out for nearly 2 months with his hip injury. So you're relying on other players. And the thing is, Killian didn't exactly start out the best, but so you can say the same thing about a lot of these other rookies. They weren't looking – nobody really looked that good at first. But now these guys are starting to gel a little bit. They're starting to roll some. I mean, yes, they're going to lose all – they're going to lose a plethora of games. But that's the point. They're starting from scratch. I mean, heck, they got Blake Griffin sitting down now. You know what I mean? So they're doing all that stuff for a reason. It's like, no, have them do sit and go ahead and sit him down, see what you can do to try and get him dealt away, and now just build your team. We sent Derrick Rose away. You know what I mean? We sent him to New York. We got a draft pick out the deal. You know what I mean? It's not, and maybe not a first-round pick, but still. Like, people, you got to build a squad up. That's how you build a squad. That's what the Lions going to go through. No one's really expecting the Lions to win anything this year. Like, we'd probably be happy if they won 5, maybe 6 games this upcoming season. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the same principle. We don't care about that. We just want to see this team actually develop and then possibly become something. So that's what I want to see. I'm seeing that happen with the Pistons. They're developing as they go along, but then we got to see what happens with Detroit. But all in all, man, that's the bulk of the week for me right there. It's been pretty solid.
Yeah, man. Not a whole lot of news to report. Steelers fans, you guys were here. I'm sure you were. Hopefully you were on Tuesday. Big Ben, man. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we've now heard from the general manager, Smitty. For those who don't know, and listen, it all started with when the owner comes out and speaks, and the Steelers fans, we always call it when they send the bat signal, and Art Rooney II, when he speaks, you got to really kind of listen to what he's saying. And a lot of us thought it was very interesting how he kept saying, listen, we would love to have Roethlisberger back, but not at that cap, right? He kept saying that. He kept saying that him and Kevin Colbert, for those who don't know, that is the GM's name, and Tomlin have all addressed this with Ben Roethlisberger. Ben was supposed to meet with them earlier this week, hadn't met with them yet, but to hear Kevin Colbert come out this week and continue to reinforce that in 2 interviews that he did on Tuesday, I believe, I don't know. What I have found out, and I've explained this to Steelers fans on the show, but what we now know, and we've probably known this for about a week or so now, you guys may remember when I was here one Thursday and I was saying it's weird that the owner is talking as if he has the cards, when I know there's a huge dead money amount and all of that. And I was wondering, well, what happens if Ben retires or if we cut him? Apparently, the way the contract is his cap hit right now is $41 million. However, if he's cut or if he retires, the Steelers gain $19 million, or they save $19 million in cap. So there is an out for the Steelers, and they still would have to do a lot more, to still at least be in a positive situation in terms of cap space. But I don't know how it's going to play out, man. I think, Ben Roethlisberger is going to have to live by his words, and he's going to have to, stick to what he said. He said it's not about the money. He wants to do what's right. He wants to play another year. We'll see. Don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's worth keeping an eye on. It's worth keeping an eye on, man, because it's going to be very interesting. Let's say if the Pittsburgh Steelers decide to part ways with one Ben Roethlisberger, it's going to be interesting. For as much Steelers fans that, is ready to kick that man out the door, listen, he is still, I'm going to say it, he's still your Hall of Fame quarterback. He is still your franchise quarterback. These guys are not easy to find. So though I've even said myself, Ben is coming down to the later end of his career is evident. We all know that. His, the amount of years he's been in, his age, we probably don't got much out of him left anyway. But you better enjoy it while you got him, because once he's gone, then we're in, we might not get lucky again like we did when we drafted him. Remember, that was coming off of losing season. So Steelers fans, buckle up. If you're expecting to find a Ben Roethlisberger, that might mean that the Steelers might have to take some L's. So don't push him out the door so soon. However, even though since I know it's coming, the rebuild's coming, I'm good either way. I will always appreciate Big Ben. I've told people this on the show, on the Terrible Podcast. He's my Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's the reason why I've been able to see my team win the Super Bowl twice. I wasn't around when they Terry Bradshaw and all of those. I didn't see those with my own eyes. So I will always cherish what Ben Roethlisberger was able to give me as a fan. You know what I mean? So, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. I think he's back, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting when you see the GM and the owner, literally saying out loud, hey, we're going to have to do something with this cap space. So that's about all I got, guys. I'm trying to think, was there anything else to address? be careful out there if you guys are in snow areas like myself. We got hit with a good amount of snow again today. I think it's going to snow tonight still. I just finished shoveling, which is the reason why we were a little late. In Texas, God bless Texas. Listen, man, like I said on Tuesday's show, I'm not laughing or joking at anybody. It's very unfortunate what's happening with the homes. It's weird. It's almost like the way they built a lot of those homes out there, they just never anticipated weather being cold. It's weird seeing what's happening to the homes, like the pipes and stuff busting. But my side eye is at the people who are walking outside and not understanding why they're falling or why they get in their car and it's ice. I don't have to live in a cold area to know that ice is slick. This is baffling to me how some of these people are acting as if they're not supposed to slip on ice. I don't know. But like I said, prayers to those, who are really going through it, man, with their homes and stuff. I hope insurance covers it. And some people even lost their lives, man, in a huge car wreck. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the people that are being posted on social media like Armageddon has come or something. And I'm like, dude, I don't care where you live in the world. You still should have an understanding of what ice does. You can't just go walking on it and thinking you're not going to fall. You can't just get in your car and drive and thinking it's not going to slide. I don't know. But anyway, man.
It's that culture shock thing because you got to remember, some of these people never grew up in snow at all, especially if they're in Texas and only states they've been to are states similar to Texas. Then they're definitely not going to know about that at all. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I know but it's like if Atlanta gets a dusting of snow, they shutting the city down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I got friends out there. Yeah, they crazy.
Yeah, so it's a wrap. But that's what I was talking to. I don't know if my man Dre is in here, but he lives in Texas. He lives there, and it's like it's as if like you said, their places, their homes, and everything else, the lay of the land, they're not prepared for that kind of weather. Like, period.
Look what my man said here in the chat, Kendall. He said he's born and raised in Dallas. He said, man, we get ice every year. They pretending they don't know.
Oh, okay.
See, Kendall, thank you for that. Those are the people I'm talking about. And shout out to my good brother there, Y Diggy, man. Fellow Steeler fan there. See people like you. That's where my prayers are aimed at, man. No water and stuff like heart is aching for you guys, man. That's in that situation is crazy. But I'm talking about these people that I believe Kendall is understand. Them folks, just stop. It's almost like they're trying to get these social moments or something. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing it, but it's cracking me up. It's like everybody's trying to capture a moment, whereas there's real people out there that's struggling, and you ain't really seeing those people post. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too righteous, man. But anyway, let's get to it, man. I think it is only right. We might as well start with the lead topic, Smitty.
Oh, you
might as well.
Come on,
man. That's one drawback so far with this software. Since I haven't paid for it yet, and shout outs to StreamYard. I'm really considering it. This is the first time we're using it. I can't post the video for you guys like I normally do, unless I do the paid version. But I do believe I can grab this link here. And in your spare time, or even if you want to take a peek at it real quick and come back to us, man, this is the old video, right? This is the one when they showed the alpha trailer to this game. And I want you to just look at the game and imagine what it can be. And shout outs to people like, what's my man's name, man, that really opened my eyes to this game. Boxing Fanatico, I think his name is.
Oh, okay.
Man, huge shout out to him because he's been all over this. They even shouted him out. And Sports Game was online. Shout outs to Curtis, my man Kurt. And Boxing Fanatico has been all over this thing from the beginning. That's how I saw it. I had no idea that this was happening. And when I saw the first trailer and the first screenshot, I thought, man, this ain't real. Ain't no way. It looks too good. I've since joined their Discord. I hit them up on Twitter. Bruh, this game, y'all know how much I love boxing, but it's deeper than that. This looks like a revolutionary type of game, almost like Smitty's gonna know where I'm going with this. This Smitty is giving me the same feeling we got when we first saw Backbreaker.
Oh,
when we was like,
specified.
Yeah, and it's not. And guys, don't get me wrong. It's not that Backbreaker was, it wasn't like it was the best game on earth. We're just talking about that physical component. We had never seen anything like that in a football game. So imagine myself, Smitty, Azure, even Moody and Apex, everybody who was into that game, all of us that have been pushing the envelope for Madden, and we see a game like that with that physical component, it blew our mind. Oh, Neff, of course, Neff, BB highlights. I mean, it goes on and on and on. This is how I'm feeling about this Esports Boxing Club. That movement, just look at that alpha trailer and look at how they moving. The footwork, man, the screenshot that they posted not too long ago of the damage. Go read their stuff, man. Go to their website, go to their Discord and read these details. And then they dropped the bomb on us today. They announced that they're going to be legends in the game. And that's going to lead me to the root of my point, and then I'll pass it to Smitty. First legend that they announced, Sugar Ray Robinson. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's ever been in no boxing game. Not officially. I'm not sure. He may have been. He may have been in Fight Night. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Okay.
He was in Fight Night. I think he was in Knockout Kings back then too. I think.
See, I'm tripping. See, my mind went somewhere else. But what still was key about that is the fact that they are licensing real people. I mean, we already saw that, right? And some people have been, bagging on them because it's like it's boxers that some people don't know. Some of these guys are, European fighters, etc. I get it, but here's my point. This is where I'm going with this. This is a new venture. This ain't EA Sports, that the well-known household name that's got all of the, the people in the game. So I kind of figured that, okay, it's not going to be all the boxers that you know and love, until I kept looking at the roster and I started seeing more guys that I do know, guys from the U.S., right? But the point is, it's kind of like, Smitty, it's challenging the sim crowd, because I see a lot of people out there beefing at them or saying, man, this game gonna suck if you ain't got this player. I'm like, does it matter so much let's say if this game delivers what it looks like they're gonna deliver? And that kind of the same thing that happens in the Madden world, right? It's the same reason why a generic football game is hard to sell, because the mass majority of people are still they need to see this person and that team, and you know what I mean? But if these dudes are able to get guys like Sugar Ray Robinson's likeness and rights to the game, who else are they going to bring? Man, but outside of that, look at how good this game looks. To me, it looks like it's going to blow away anything that Fight Night ever did. And I was a Fight Night fan. And this is not a knock at EA and Fight Night. Yeah. It's just saying the evolution of gaming, like this joint looked like it's going to be a next gen game. Something we've never seen before. But like I said, my point, man, is it reminds me of, unfortunately, why I just don't think we will ever see another simulation football game that's not licensed to some degree because of even how people are treating this game. You know, they already catch it heat because so-and-so is not in it. And this person isn't in it. And it's like, see, there's your answer, folks. For all of you people that always want to say, why 2K don't just make a generic football game? Well, they did. It's called All Pro Football. However, that won't even so generic because it had legends in it. And as much as we liked it here, the core audience liked it, ain't nobody really played that game or bought it. Not enough people to keep it going. So I don't want to make this about Madden. I'm just saying, get behind this game. And y'all know I don't ever tell you to buy anything. And I'm not telling you to do it again, even here, because I don't know how the game is going to turn out. But what I'm saying is we as gamers need to support these type of efforts. This ain't no disrespect. This ain't no little poo butt like indie. No. This game, this joint look official. And this is the type of effort I want to see. And again, it's hard because I don't want to. I can say this because I gave these guys money. Maximum Football, right? Brought the game, played it a few times, but I just wanted to support. But what I'm saying is, I want to see the community. A lot of you guys that say you want a boxing title and all of that, and you wish Fight Night was back. If you don't support this game that's looking like this, I don't know what to say. We can make a difference. The community can make a huge difference if we support it. And it looks like this game, Smitty, is going to be, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Everything so far that I have heard and seen about this game is all positive. There's not a thing for me to walk away from it and have a bad taste in my mouth. There's nothing about it that makes me feel like it's not going to happen. I can't wait to see it, man. And if that joint is close to being what it looks like, boy, Fight Night who, bro? But yeah, shout outs to them, man. I don't know if they'll get a chance to see this. I tagged them in the video. Shout outs to Boxing Fanatico, man. You do a great job. Love the videos, love the updates. Shout outs to SGO for supporting the game as well. But I just want to, we wanted to talk about this because it's important. Y'all know what me and Smitty stand for in terms of, looking for simulation products and things like that. And it doesn't have to come from the giant company. It doesn't have to, because the effort that we're seeing as these guys are putting forth, I can't say I've seen another quote unquote off-brand-ish type of company deliver like this. So those are my thoughts, man. And I'm sure we got more to dive into. But what you think, Smitty, just overall about what they're doing, what they announced today, and do you think the game will actually deliver what they're advertising?
Well, see, it's a few things here. Few things to add.
Whoa, real quick. Shout outs to he's in here. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Like I pointed out to him, he was talking.
You probably seen a few of my comments lately on your videos, dude. You do a phenomenal job. I gotta say that. We're the type of guys that we're not about not being able to shout out others or dog. I hope your channel grows ridiculously. You know what I mean? You do a great job. Had it not been for you, I probably wouldn't even have known about this game. And even though my name says SimFBallCritic, which I'm a hardcore football guy, I'm just as hardcore in boxing. That's like my second love. They're probably 1A, 1B. But I want to give you your flowers, man. Great content. Keep doing what you're doing. I've been watching your channel grow, and I appreciate you even stopping through tonight, man. But yeah, you're doing your thing, man. And great content. I even watched your video today with the and I'm going to promote that. Go check out his video where he's streaming. He's showing why he feels that Fight Night 2004 was, I think it was 2004, Fight Night for one of them. He knows what I'm talking about. But he shows why that game, and here's a caveat. he explains why that game was more simulation because of the certain things you could do, and they went away from it. Sounds like EA Sports, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to post a link to that video right here, but wanted to take the time out and say, man, appreciate you coming through. Keep doing your thing, and you got our support all the way. Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, that's all I was pointing. Excuse me. What I was saying before, while I was pointing at the screen, I'm like, oh, snap. Because when you had mentioned Fanatico, he just so happened to comment like right after you had said it. So I'm like,
that's
oh,
crazy.
man.
See, I talk so much, I ain't even see it.
Yeah, so like here. But yeah, mad support, man. Mad support, you know what I'm saying? I've seen some of his content as well. Does phenomenal work. No question about that. You know, and we greatly appreciate you coming through, bro. That's the support is definitely appreciated. His channel definitely will come up, especially once this game drops. And the thing that I would say, Sim, I'm pushing him all the way to the front. I told him offline, hey man, you got a game in PC. When this sucker come out on Steam, you need to stream that immediately. Like, even if that means cutting football content out for a while. Like,
sorry, man.
you just need to put that out there immediately.
Man,
just streams, videos, thoughts, all that stuff. And just push that. And because Sim said, dude, you know how many times we've been in the studio? Remember when we talked to Mike Mahar and we knew that, you know, he worked on the Fight Night team, and you was like, hey man, yo, look, man. What about getting us another Fight Night title? You know what I'm saying? What about another EA boxing title? We have made the mentionings and we've asked for that kind of stuff from the internal level. It's been said externally 10 trillion times over. So now we're getting this game, and it's not like we're getting, like what Sim said, we're not getting a low budget, one-man crew, 8-bit, 12-bit looking, you know, retro kind of game or anything like that. It's not a game, and this is not knocking anybody, but this is just the real.
Yeah.
This is a game that these dudes have a roadmap to take it to console. You know what I'm saying, in the future, but it's coming to the PC platform first through Steam. And see, like I said a while back, to what Sim to piggyback off of what Sim was saying, what you gotta understand here, guys, is that through Steam, even though they delayed it and they pushed it back, understand this. It's still gonna be on early access. So if you guys don't understand what early access means, these dudes could have the game in early access for like 2-3 years if they really wanted to, and still just plug away at it, add more content, add updates, fix this, fix that, and not have it officially, all right, project's closed off, we're done. That's the beauty of it. So it's not like once this game drops, this is the end of the game. Like, that's it. No, it's not complete. You know what I'm saying? That's the cool part. So we're not getting a complete game here. But they're like, dang, the response is so great. We want to make sure that the foot that we put forward is a real good foot forward. So people get a real good experience out the gate. And oh, by the way, there's still much more to come. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference when you're doing a game on PC through that early access. Whereas when it's a brand new console game or whatever, it's got to be finished, and you got that deadline, and it's got to be finished whether it's good or not. Like we saw what happened with Steam, Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, here's the game. It's out here now, and just take it. Nah, you ain't got to do that. You don't have. You ain't got to roll like that. And I love the fact that I love the fact that these guys, this boxing club game, I love the fact that these guys are doing it the way they're doing it. Yes, they have a lot of guys from the UK and everything, and that's perfectly fine. You know what? I'm glad they're doing that because you're showcasing the boxing scene still. The hardcore boxing guys are going to be able to identify with that. And it's not like they're going to be able to identify with those fighters, but it's not like they're not in conversations with, the whole boxing organization to try and get more fighters. Who knows? And that's the thing. That's the beauty of it being a wide open net. They're not casting a small little net. They're casting a wide net. And it's just like we don't know what we're gonna be able to catch. You know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful. And from the update, what they say, the gameplay update, they said that they added a new system as far as the striking is concerned. And then they said it was a huge milestone. And he said, simply put, the flow of the combat needed to match the revolutionary footwork system. That I want to see. When I read just that first paragraph, that alone was like, wait a minute. That's why I'm mad that we can't pull the trailer up in here. Because we pull the trailer, look at the footwork. Man. And how to fight night, Knockout Kings, all of that.
Knockout Kings. That's OG right there.
Yeah. But they never had footwork.
Smitty knows. That used to be my biggest complaint. And see, that's how much of sim heads we are. And again,
that player
I
movement,
used to say, dog, this ain't that movement. I want to be able to represent certain movement. If it looks like you will be able to do it in this game. And just imagine, just from looking at that trailer, and again, this is alpha. Imagine if they are able to capture different styles, right? I think they probably could, just seeing how they have the movement so fluid already. Imagine if they're able to capture the way this boxer moves, that boxer moves, this boxer moves, you know what I mean? And you really start seeing the differences. And man, this game has a chance. Again, the title says it all. Best boxing game ever made. It has a real chance just from what we're seeing. Like I'd be highly disappointed if this game turned out to not be anything. Like I honestly would, because the hype trailer is real. I've seen enough to say, oh, like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
So,
and man. But see, even with that, even with Sim saying that, the game can come out and not be ready. And it's like, oh, this feels kind of rough. Cool. Give the feedback. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the biggest thing. Give the feedback. Get on the Discord. If you're not, get on the Discord. I'm pretty sure they're going to have an avenue in there to really voice it from playing it. Give that feedback. And the cool thing is they're not tied down. So there is no, we got to pass this update through certification through Microsoft and then through Sony and then they ain't got to do any of that. They can straight up, okay, here's the feedback. Okay, this is the situation. All right, bet. Hey guys, we did a little tweaking here and a tweaking there. They ain't gotta wait for all that. They ain't gotta wait weeks and weeks and weeks and all that. They don't have to do that. They can see problem, update, and go right ahead. You see what I'm saying? And put it out. So that's the beautiful thing about the PC gaming part of it. You know what I mean? Like being on PC and also doing through that early access again. I love it, man. It's beautiful. So that's gonna help out. That's gonna help out a whole lot, man. And I mean, and one thing I'll say real quick, because I know we didn't mention it. King Arthur with the $5 donation. Appreciate
let's
that.
throw a round of applause out there really quick, man.
Yeah. And
let me know if you guys hear that applause, by the way. Again, real quick, while we got a little pause in action. As you guys can see, we're using a different platform tonight. This is the free version. That's why it says powered by StreamYard. I think I like this. It's very connected and fluid. You know, it was kind of rough with me and Smitty still using Zoom. Not because Zoom didn't work. It's just that sometimes OBS gets crazy with the window capture and yada, yada, yada. So I wanted something like this that's already there. Because it's not the paid version yet, you know, you always got to test drive the car before you drive off the lot, right? I can't upload some of the stuff I normally would. Like, I wish this was the night that I could throw the trailer up in there and we all watch it together, but I think I'm going to move forward with this. I am going to check one more software, but there you go. So I say all that to say this, guys. Let me know that you can still hear the applause, because again, we can't even really see the pop-up in the software where it gives the notification and the alert. In this software, it's not like Streamlabs OBS, but
no,
you know, we always
couldn't hear it, or somebody said they couldn't hear it. So
okay, well, you should have been able to hear it because it's funneling through. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe Smitty, just thinking out loud. Maybe it's because I'm not streaming wavelength through anything.
Oh,
that's probably what. But no, because they can hear you, and your voice is coming through the browser through wavelength. So, I don't know. I'll keep playing with it, and you guys, if y'all hear it, just let me know. Just write in there, say we heard it. But if not, no big deal.
Okay. And then what he basically said was, he was asking, he said, Sim, I teach boxing, several martial arts, hand-to-hand combat, and self-defense. Do you think the game will have techniques like the shoulder roll?
Man, judging by that movement, one would think, man. I mean,
right.
I don't want to put too many lofty expectations on him. And if Boxing Fanatical, if he's in here, man, maybe he could comment on that. And guys, let me just say this again. Let him be your point man. Let him be your go-to when it comes to this game, because again, his channel is dedicated to boxing. I wouldn't have known about the game had I not stumbled across his channel. And like I said, we're all about promotion here. It doesn't matter if somebody's channel is bigger, smaller, whatever. We're going to promote what we like. So I want him to be the guy that all of you all are following, and just do that, please. I mean, you can of course follow us, but I think he's going to be a significant figure on YouTube when it comes to this game, man, because he's been all over it. But again, I don't want to put these lofty goals and expectations on them, because we have to be fair. I know a lot of times as gamers, we want everything to be perfect, and we don't care that companies are brand new. We don't care how small, how big they are, but we can't act that way. But with all that being said, looking at how fluid these players move, and this is early on in the game, and like Smitty alluded to, they've made updates to even that since. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't have those type of techniques. I'm pretty sure they've watched games in the past and they've saw the good that Fight Night may have had. Seeing them having that type of footwork lets me know that these guys are about real boxing. Another thing I will say, and this, some people may get offended by this, but it's the truth. Sometimes in other countries, such as the UK, they appreciate things a little more than sometimes we do in America. Prime example. I mean, we all hear about that when it comes to like hip hop, right? They all about real hip hop over there. You know what I mean? Whereas over here, sometimes we get lax. Sometimes American culture, we get laxed, but other countries sometimes seem to take things more seriously. And what I mean by that is, even if you are a boxing fan, you kind of know how the UK scene, and the European fighters, how they are. They're real technical. You know what I mean? So I could only assume if this is a UK-based company, they're going to be about the sport. They're going to try to find everything they can find and bring that realism to the game if they can. And believe in that, and just, listening to how they talk, what they're saying about the game, what they're advertising, what they're emphasizing on, the feedback that they're taking in, looking at that movement, it only makes me believe that you will absolutely be able to do those type of things. But I don't want to get overly excited, but I'm telling you, I think this game has the potential to be one of the best things we have ever seen in terms of a combat sport. I'm blown away, man, just by looking at the trailer. And this is an old trailer. I don't want you guys to think this is something new, but I'm still looking at it like trying to piece together everything that they're telling us based off of what we saw months ago in the trailer, and that these things have been improved upon. Man, I think you'll be able to do all of that. And I really hope that they're going to be able to like hone in on, differences between fighters. Should be cool, man. Should be real cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But and one other point I want to make though about the community expectations standpoint, like you were saying earlier. Now, even from what SGO has said in his video, when he did like a Q&A, he wanted questions from the people and all that. And it's like people want characters, like they want Logan Paul in there.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, can we get Nate Robinson in there? And can we do all that? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're asking the real silly questions. And that's the whole, I want the zany over the top kind of stuff in the game and all that. When it's like, no, at the end of the day, make this game the way y'all need to make the game for real. Like they want, people asking for the silliest things to be done in there. Like, look, hey, let put Shannon Briggs in there and let him and Vladimir go. Him and Klitschko go at it. Like, no, man, you know what I mean? Well, that was actually a fight, but that was with what was it? Vitaly. Him and Vitaly had fought. And then he tried to fight Vladimir, and that never happened. But he trolled him like crazy. But, and this is what I'm saying, man. Just you don't want to see a game like. See, this is why PC gaming has that potential level of purity, where it's like it doesn't need to get watered down by the masses. What I mean is people that want to do a one-off experience. Hey, let me create Logan Paul and let me create this guy and that guy or whatever. Let me create KSI and all that. You talking about these people doing these one-off fights and stuff like that or whatever. Don't do that kind of stuff for them. Make the game according to your vision. Take the feedback that's given by the people, but apply feedback from the people that goes in line with what you're doing. That's it. Don't go all the way to the right and all the way to the left and all the way to no. You don't need to do all that. Regardless if people complain, you got to stand your ground with the product. Because remember, there's a big old void when it comes to boxing games right now. A huge void that has yet to be filled by anyone. If you make a legit boxing product that actually is depicting boxing in an appropriate fashion, yes, people are going to get on there and clown and everything, but at the same time, you make a valid product that's going to sustain you. That's going to sustain you because you know why? People going to bring up Fight Night Round 4 and Fight Night Champions and all that stuff, and they ain't going to be able to hold the candle to what you're doing. Heck, they already can't. None of those. There's not a single EA boxing game that touches this game regarding the player movement alone. So there's that. We just got to see what happens in general, man. But they they have phenomenal potential, and it's looking good. It looks good to me. And then even what they're saying in the article, if you don't follow those guys on Twitter, definitely I strongly recommend that you follow these guys on Twitter. What is it? At the @ symbol Steel City INT, like all is one word, Steel City INT. Follow them, turn on your notifications from them if you need to, and see what these guys are going to be offering especially when they drop content and trailers or news or anything like that. Pay attention to all that stuff. So I don't know, man. It's these dudes got potential, bro.
Huge potential, man.
Huge.
And again, it always comes down to, and I always try to make it my point to say this, as much as we are simulation heads with, the games we like to play, there's always going to be the video game element, from some people. And, even like I saw here in the chat, and again, this is preference. This is not a knock or a slight, but shout outs to my man who said it here. Dr. Trey 88, he said they should make it so lightweights can fight heavyweights. Okay, it's a game, but see, somebody like me would be like, why? Because in the real world, I mean, could it happen? Sure. Could it be somebody who moves up the ranks, like a Roy Jones did, moves all the way up to getting a heavyweight title? But realistically, you're not going to see that. But see, that's just me. That's not saying that anybody is wrong for wanting that. It's a game, but it's like, why would I put a lightweight against a heavyweight? I mean, like that wouldn't happen realistically in the real world. But like I said, that's not a slight at anybody. It's just sometimes we all have to understand that people enjoy games the way they enjoy them. But, for somebody like me is always going to root against it because it's like, we're just nuts like that. We want games to be fully authentic. But I will acknowledge that there should be, arcade aspects to games as well that, in its own arena, like 2K basketball pretty much gives you anything that you want. You want to play more of a basketball style, you start on My Career or My GM, or, you want to have fun, you go play on the play, so I'm not saying it shouldn't be there, but that doesn't interest me at all to do that because I would definitely want to fight. Now, what I would want to do, like I just referenced a little while ago, is maybe it'd be dope if you could move your guy up. Maybe you can replicate a career of a Roy Jones and somehow march your way all the way up to getting a heavyweight title. That'd be cool. But yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
But see, you know what though, Sim? See, when people want to do all those fantasy matches, like have a woman boxer go up against a man and all that kind of stuff or whatever, like
stop.
They don't need to do any of that. So once again, you're diluting your product. You're already ruining your brand ahead of time by doing that. That's going to be a niche of a niche when it comes to your project. That not many people are going to honestly play that. So no, they don't need to do that.
Exactly. Shout outs, man, to King Arthur again, man. I don't know why you guys can't hear the round of applause. I'm trying it again, but shout outs to King Arthur, man. For the donation, he says they have a deep creation suite. I wonder if they will be able to, read that again. I wonder if there will be authentic footwork packages and boxing styles to equip your thoughts. I hope so. I think that kind of goes. Okay, yeah.
I'll be right back.
I hope so, man. I think that kind of goes along with what we said earlier. I would hope that, judging by what I've seen, man, I would hope that is what they would be working towards. Again, I have no evidence of this, but just seeing what they're putting on display, I'm almost confident that they're going to have some type of likeness different play styles as far as, different boxing styles, techniques, stances, defense styles. I would only think so. Like I said, again, listen, I'm from the United States. So, of course, I love being an American and all that, but I give credit what credit is due. Like I said, a lot of times you look at other countries, sometimes they take things a little more serious. And like I said, with the UK in boxing, they are really technical. So I would feel that this game would be, they're going to make this an authentic experience to its core. So we'll see. But again, I don't want to put so much pressure on them. I'm not going to overly judge them that way if they don't have that, because again, it's still a first year offering. And I think sometimes that's the difficulty that video games developers have in general when they show you something beautiful. When they show us these graphics and the screenshot of the facial damage and all of that, and the early footage of the player movement, it starts making people by nature over expect. So now you like, oh, they should be able to do this. They should be able to do that. They should be. But we don't know how hard it and, how difficult it is to get what they've shown. So I'm not going to put these lofty goals and expectations on them. I'm just waiting to see what they can do. That's it. I'm just waiting to see what these guys are able to do. They have me excited. I will be promoting it. I will be playing it. I will be streaming it more than likely. And there you have it. So I don't know. But overly ecstatic about it, man. And again, it's good to see that, there's a boxing fan base out there, because you guys know how I feel about boxing. And I'm going to do my part. Like I said, man, shout outs again to Boxing Fanatico. Had it not been for him, I would have never known. Now there's more and more people talking about it. You see what I'm saying? So it's good to see that, man, because my hopes of a fight night coming back probably wouldn't happen, but it doesn't matter. This is living proof, guys, when y'all hear me say, even though me and Smitty have had our affiliation with EA and being game changers for Madden and yada, 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 we've always said it's not about the company. I don't care who the company is. Deliver the game, and I will be there to support. So, message to EA Sports. You don't have to bring Fight Night back. No problem. Let's see what Steel City Interactive will do with their game, and I will be playing that and giving them all the feedback in the world. So if you don't want to do it, move out of the way. And it looks like there's another game right here that might end up being the best game we've ever seen. So it don't have to come from EA Sports. So there you have it. Moving right along, guys. We only got really two more topics to get into. Nothing real serious. One of them, of course, would be Carson Wentz. Give my quick thoughts on that, man. And let me be correct. Give me a second, guys. I meant to pull it up and I didn't. Y'all know how we do. It's live, right? When it's live, y'all see the real-time errors and all of that. I just want to go back and analyze exactly what they got for the trade. Okay. One Carson Wentz was traded from the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles agreed to trade Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second round. It says the 2022 conditional second round pick becomes a first round selection if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps in 2021 or 70% and the Colts make the playoffs. Now, that's interesting. So let me read that again. The Eagles will receive a third round pick. So we already know that's in the bag. And then there's a 2022 second rounder that has a condition. Again, the condition would be the second round pick becomes a first round selection if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps in 2021 or if 70% and the Colts make the playoffs. Now, if you're asking me, who are the winners and losers in this trade? I'm going to say it's TBD. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it's still to be determined. Why am I saying that? Carson Wentz, at one time, we saw this guy play very good football. Super Bowl year, even though he got injured, unfortunately, and Nick Foles was able to do enough to get the Eagles to the promised land. You know, he picked up where Wentz left off, and he was able to get those guys to the promised land. And bada boom, bada bing. Next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl, and Nick Foles does just enough to get it done, right? If you recall that season, Carson Wentz was balling. He was actually, being touted as the MVP possibly that season. Why do I say that? He's not that old. He's still in his 20s. Let me check. Let me check because I want to be accurate. I think he's about 27, 28. Let me check. Give me a second, folks. Because, I want to be accurate in my assessment. What is he? He is 28 years of age. He will not turn 29 until December. So, 28 years old, big and strong quarterback, has shown that he can play in the NFL. Hasn't played so well the last couple seasons, man. I mean, he's had some wild throws, wildly inaccurate. But he's also still shown flashes, even while he's been inaccurate. I mean, again, when he played Pittsburgh in this past season, he showed some flash in that game, along with the kid Fulgham, number 13, that was catching everything. I think there's talent there. He'll be reunited with the guy who was on the Eagles staff as a quarterback coach in Indianapolis. So I think there's automatically a connection there with Frank Wright, right? You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that he's done. Maybe he just didn't do enough with the Eagles. I know the Eagles at one point, in this season, they were struggling on the offensive line. And again, not going to put all that on the offensive line. There were some times where Carson Wentz just looked bad. But I don't think he's done. And I don't think the Eagles gave up with so much for him. You know what I'm saying? The Colts. I don't think the Colts gave up with so much to get him. So I actually think this might work out. Wentz had a huge contract, and the Colts are going to eat that. And I believe the Eagles are going to end up with a lot of dead money. If I saw something earlier that said that they're going to have the biggest dead money amount in history. I need to look at the details and understand why that is, because I thought when you got traded, your contract went along with it. So I'm not sure how the dead money part, I don't know contracts and stuff like that. But I guess if you want to say there was a loser, maybe it would be the Eagles because of that dead money. If I saw it correctly, I think they said it was somewhere around $33 million. That's crazy. But I think it was a low risk for the Colts. You give up a third, and you give up a second rounder, potentially a first rounder next year. And if that conditional pick turns into a first rounder, that means that was a good trade. That would mean that you either went to the playoffs or Carson Wentz stayed healthy and played 75% of the snaps. So I don't think it's a lose at all for the Colts. I don't think they gave up too much. And because of his recent play is the reason why I guess the Eagles weren't able to get those first rounders that they were looking for. So, maybe the Eagles are the losers because, again, that dead money, that cap, $33 million. But I don't think he's done, man. I think Carson Wentz still has something in the tank. And when he was playing his best, it was with Frank Wright being there as a quarterback coach. And now Frank Wright being the head coach of the Colts, man, I think it was a great place for him to go. So it's about all I got on that. Let me throw it to Smitty, man. Smitty, any thoughts on Carson Wentz, man? The trade. Was it a dumb trade? Who do you think lost in the trade? Or you think he still got something in the tank?
What were the details of the trade?
Oh, sure. Let me give them to you right here. The Eagles, in exchange, they get a 2021 third round pick.
Okay.
And a conditional 2022 second rounder. The condition is that second round pick can become a first round pick if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps this season, or if he plays 70% and the Colts make it to the playoffs. So,
wow.
Worst case scenario, the Colts gave up a third round this year, first round next year. Best case, well, I don't want to say best case because they would like to be in the playoffs, but the worst would be you gave up a third in the first. The best would be you gave up a third and a second next year. So I think the Colts got over.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Because I mean, look, draft capital is huge, especially in a sport like football, where players get hurt all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge deal. Now, if Wentz, like you said, he's getting with his former coaches or whatever, people that he was comfortable with. So if he's with his people and he plays good, then they would have. I wouldn't say that the Colts fully lost the trade. They would lose because of the draft capital.
Yeah.
But if Wentz actually does good, then they technically would win, because getting a good quarterback is not an easy feat. You know what I'm saying? So, which I hope that doesn't last too long with the Lions, but we about to be heading down that road. So that's definitely happening. So yeah, finding a valuable quarterback is a hard thing to come by. So it's like, if it works, then they're in a great position. And it's the same thing with like how it is here with Jared with Goff. He basically has 2 years to audition. You know what I mean? If he really doesn't show those positive signs, then it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I personally am still hoping that with that 7th pick, we draft a quarterback. I still am hoping that we do that, but no, I mean, as far as that Eagles, I mean, to get that other pick from them, that future pick, you got to be around like those conditions. That I don't know. We don't know what could possibly happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to say that was a good or bad deal. See, when draft capital is involved, you kind of got to wait and see. At least for me personally, I got to see who they draft. Who's drafted and what impact happens from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If nothing impactful comes of it, like if they draft a few guys or whatever, and they really don't do much of anything at all with it, then that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Then hey, and then on the flip side, if if Wentz is over there and he actually finds his way, then yeah, like I said, they definitely want to trade. So it's kind of it's an ultimate wait and see kind of thing. Wait and see what possibly develops. Like, that's basically where it's at this point. So we'll just have to wait and see on it, But that's where I'm at speculation wise.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at the details as far as, I don't know how cap and all that factors in, but it's definitely saying by them trading him, they will incur a $33.82 million dead money against their 2021 salary cap. But I don't understand why that is. Again, like I said, so if some of you guys in the chat understand cap, and why is there a dead money hit when you're traded? I thought when players got traded, their entire contract went to the new team, unless, now that I'm thinking of this out loud, I think maybe the new team only incurs the charges of the remaining contract, and maybe the guaranteed money that you may have had tied up. Maybe the existing team pays that. That might be it. So if any of you guys are familiar with that, let me know. Is that the reason? Is it because of said guaranteed money, said bonus, anything like that? Is that how it works? The new team would incur the remainder of the contract, but the existing team pays what was guaranteed to the player. Is it something like that? I don't know. So if you guys can, okay. Josh Ring says exactly. The signing bonus gets eaten by the original team. Okay. Yikes. 33 million. Boy. Still the fans, boy, would we be hot about that? With our cap situation, imagine that. The cap comes in lower than expected, and these dudes got to eat a $33 million dead money hit. Woo! Yeah. But anyway, man, we can move on for that. I'm going to do this round of applause one more time. Y'all let me know if you hear it this time. I tried something different. Let's see if it works. Y'all let me know. Trying to make sure we can get all this stuff set up the right way, man. Should I choose to move forward here with StreamYard, which I think we might end up doing that. Last topic of the night, man. EA Sports, well, EA, not EA Sports. EA officially purchases Codemasters for $1.2 billion. You guys know we talked about this a little while back. And shout outs to Operation Sports, man. They updated their article here today. Basically says back in December, EA offered to purchase Codemasters for $1.2 billion, outbidding Take-Two in the process. Today it has become official. The announcement brings the Formula One, Dirt Rally, Grid, and Project Cars franchises under the EA umbrella. That's interesting, man, because I definitely played some Project Cars in my Xbox days, man. So what's more interesting to me, guys, is I'm going to take this approach, and we'll see where Smitty goes with it. It's very interesting that how do you view this, right? Some people are usually upset when you see a company try to acquire other assets, or you try to acquire, let's say in the NFL space, they acquired the license. But I think you kind of see how business works and how it played out right here. Seeing that it was Take-Two that they outbid it. And this is sometimes how it works. Now, we know the old story that I heard, and I will go as far as saying I heard this from someone within EA. Won't say any names, but I actually heard that way back when 2K offered more for the license, but the NFL had it with them, and they decided to stick with EA. Because remember, back in the 2K5 days, Madden 05 days, 2K5 came out at a price point of $19.99. If you guys can remember back that far, video games at that time, brand new, was $49.99, right? And then we graduated up to $59.99, and now look where we at, $70, $69.99, right? And most of us, honestly, don't even pay that. You already heard me and Smitty say that we probably going to be paying about $100 for this MLB. So it's amazing to see how the inflation has just continued. Every new console generation, here comes more money for these, these games. But it's, again, 2K came in, they said, all right, we know how to compete with them boys. Let's drop that thing for $19.99. Caught my attention. Because again, even back then when I was happy with Madden, I still wanted to see what other games could do. And every year I kept trying other football games to see how it compared to Madden. 2K4, I was like, okay, they're getting there. But when 2K5 hit in all of its splendor in that game, I was like, yo, this joint really rivals Madden, because it was literally Sunday Night Football's package. Literally. And then all of the presentation. But anyway, we know how that story goes. EA swoops in. Boom. So how do you feel about this purchase? And see, me, I've always been torn with the money aspect, right, Smitty? Because we've always complained about getting a better football product, but to me, I've always said, well, I ain't mad at the business. Even if they put up the biggest amount, or if they fork out, more than anyone else every time the license comes up for the renew, I ain't mad at that. Why wouldn't you? I've been mad at them for not producing a better product. But you're not going to hear me complain about companies trying to acquire more business. I mean, that's the name of the game. You got to have the best product. Even though EA hasn't had the best product football-wise, but the goal is to have the only product and offer a good product. And that just is what it is. But it does leave a little bit of taste in my mouth just seeing that it's like Take Two was someone that they outbidded. It just goes to show you, and the silver lining in this whole thing to me is the fact that EA is not going to lose the simulation license for a football game. They got long pockets, bro. Long money, deep pockets. And it's just every time I see something like this where EA has acquired something and they outbid someone, it just makes me get further and further away for thinking that there will ever be another legit competitor in the football space. Makes me further believe, Smitty, what we keep hearing from 2K and the NFL, that this NFL game from 2K is non-simulation. Every time I see these type of things, I just start to believe that more and more. So those are my thoughts, man. I don't really, have a negative thought about any of this here. I mean, like I said, these are not really games that I play. I have played Project Cars, and maybe I'll check it out, with whatever first game that EA puts out there, and maybe do a comparison of what the game used to be. But that's kind of what I took from it. And maybe some other people viewed this differently, but I just kind of took from that whole business aspect and how it just leads me to believe that EA will be able to do whatever they want monetarily. If they want to acquire something, or if they want to keep paying the huge amount for the NFL license, they're going to keep doing it. So that's all I got. Any thoughts on that, Smitty? Oh, I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh, how about now?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, I got you.
Now, let me see. Also focus on him. What was it? What was the question?
Just how you feel about EA acquiring Codemasters.
Oh, well, I mean, okay. It's not necessarily a bad move. But as far as EA's racing games, Need for Speed all day.
Yes, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? But specifically Hot Pursuit. That's like the best one.
Loved it.
At least to me.
Mm-hmm.
Need for Speed Underground was like they were taking from the whole, Fast and Furious and getting nitrous and having the super souped up car on the 24s and all that stuff, or 22, 24-inch rims. All that stuff was going on. But as far as their games, look, as long as they don't take away from what Codemasters is able to do, and they just lend to their processes, they'll be good. Otherwise, if you got people trying to be everybody trying to be a chief, then it's not going to bode too well. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would wish there was a a loophole or something like that. But no, I mean, you're talking about the Dirt series and all them games, and then yeah. And the funniest thing about it is it's not like they make the game purely cheesy and arcadey or anything like that. For the most part, they actually have it balanced from top to bottom. But the I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like what would be the biggest problem. What would be the biggest problem I would have for it? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see. Like I should say, I don't foresee any of the racing games getting tampered with like that or whatever. Like, I just hope that at the end of the day, the type of games that these guys are making stays the same course. I don't want to see the legacy of what these racing games once were just go completely down the drain. You know what I'm saying? Because EA does what they do. And I don't know as far as microtransactioning stuff what goes on because I don't play those games like that to really know. So, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what develops there. But not a bad acquisition business-wise by EA, but it still sucks because you're potentially hurting the variable of choice in the marketplace by trying to corner everything. You got everything cornered off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see. I just don't see them. I don't see the EA really jacking that up. I hope.
Yeah. That's what my initial thought too was. I don't think it's gonna affect those games so much, but I wonder what EA's plan is. Is it just to have more franchises under your belt? You know, obviously it's a money play, but I would hope they will allow the current development to stay intact. And you're kind of just you're presenting it, but you keep those who are building the games intact. So, but like you said, man, it does make you. It's kind of like, I'll take this approach to it because I've heard you say this quite often. It's kind of like how you feel about UFC and how you say it used to be, before EA started making the game. I forgot who used to make it before. Why am I blanking on the name?
THQ.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Like, some people feel like the game hasn't lived up to that quality. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to, because again, like I said, I played some Project Cars in my time. I've played many. I've been playing racing games since Rad Racer. There's a lot of little games and stuff that y'all don't know about that I don't showcase. But I'm a RPG gamer. I play sports games, of course. I play race car games. Y'all know I love my shooters. Battlefield being my go-to. So I'm always going to try out racing. Gran Turismo used to be my jam. But like Smitty said, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, one of my all-time favorites, man, because it was a mix of, I couldn't say it was simulation. I couldn't say it was all the way arcade. It was just a fun game. And with the cops after you and stuff, it's one of them things that you would just pick up and play anytime just to get chased by the cops, just to see how crazy you could get away from them and stuff like that. So I just hope they don't lose the luster of these games. Because I know, people who love the Dirt series. So we'll see. But that's all I got, man. I think we could get on out of here, man. See, Lil Smitty knocked out, boy. He is out.
Yep.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys coming through. Not sure if he's still here or not, man, but Boxing Fanatico, man, if you're still here, thanks for coming through. We definitely appreciate what you're doing out there. And like I said, I'm definitely going to do my part and, start promoting that game as well. And, you guys give us some feedback, man, on how you felt the presentation was tonight. I think I like StreamYard. The only thing that just seems a little strange, and I don't understand why, man, it seems like from time to time, for some reason, it seemed like Smitty's camera dragged, and it's weird because both of us are hardwired, and it gives me this little icons with the little Wi-Fi symbol. Neither one of us is on Wi-Fi, so I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just something that's happening tonight. We ain't never had that problem when we did Zoom. Our cameras never, you know what I mean? So I wonder if it's because it's going through the browser. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. But I think this might be the platform going forward. I'll go ahead and pay for it, and we'll see. But other than that, man, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Have a good Friday. Go ahead and get through Friday tomorrow, man, and then you can chill for the rest of the weekend. You know, one last day of the week. Be safe if you're in an area where it's a lot of snow and or ice. And blessings to the people in Texas, man, who are really going through it. My man, why I did get in here. You know, hope yourself, your sister, your family, anybody else, man, without power, without water. Thoughts and prayers are with you, man. That's some serious stuff. Some serious stuff right there. Only last thing I will say, man, I've been up on my documentaries here lately, man. If you guys got Netflix, man, go check out a couple things out there. Me and my wife last night watched that the vanishing person at Hotel Cecil. Interesting. It's very interesting, and I think some of you YouTube folks will remember the story once they dive into it, because I definitely remember. And it's crazy when me and Smitty have been out to LA, especially the second time I went I think this was the first time for EA. Was this EA Play? I think it might have been my second time at E3, I think. I didn't stay too far away from this hotel. I remember it vividly. And I almost stayed at the hotel. And shout outs to, I can't remember who it was at EA, but when I was trying to find a spot, they were familiar with the folklore about this place. And they were like, no, you don't want to stay there. It's got a bad history. And so it was eerie watching this documentary, because I was like, oh, man, I remember people telling me about this place. But anyway, some good docs out there, man. So if you're into that kind of thing, for some reason, I've dived back into my documentary bag, and I've been having a good time this week. But anyway, that was a sidebar. Hope you guys are well. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. And thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you later. Peace.
Peace.